one of the things that COVID-19 has highlighted is that higher education needs to be more innovative, adaptable, and be more conducive to the times that we live in. Not just because of the pandemic, but also be able to take advantage of the 21st century structures such as the internet. So ability to offer a lot of this programming online. And education plays a critical role in overall population health and health equity goals, not only at the individual level, but also at the societal level. There are multiple causal pathways through which education does play that particular role, one of which is science policy. And this is to say that lots of times this is not discussed as much, but when people who come from underrepresented minority backgrounds, be it racial, ethnic, sexual, gender minority, or linguistic barriers and so on, do bring a very unique perspective to higher education and then to science policy, which inherently leads to more inclusive and equitable policies and help us achieve alleviating some of the social inequities that we worry about within the science policy context. So this is a part of a much broader project from a dissertation, which is a mixed method evaluation, but this is an analysis of a smaller component of it, qualitative part of it, which really looked at the perspectives of first generation and underrepresented minority students, perspectives on doctoral program websites, whether or not those were conducive to them making a decision about attending a particular school or not, and what were some of the barriers. So it was very open-ended, and as you can see on this particular screen, the majority of students, almost all of them, well, all of them came from first-generation background. The majority of them were Black Americans, and a small chunk was LGBTQ population, and roughly 40% had English as their second language, did not speak English as their native language. So these were some of the findings from this particular study. So one of the key things that came up over and over again during these focus groups was that the information that's provided on the websites is not comprehensive, nor is it transparent. So I'll give you one quick example. For instance, it is assumed from a school's perspective that a good applicant should have reached out to a faculty member about their research interests, but that information is seldom provided online. So if you are a first generation student and this is your first time interacting with the website, making a decision to attend the doctoral program or not, that information is simply not available. And some of the other things that came up in terms of like structural barriers, which was another theme, is the standardized tests and the Eurocentric assumptions about pretty much everything when they approach doctoral programs websites. So their viewpoint was that these websites are catered towards predominantly white students who have had their parents or relatives or someone in their family been to a doctoral program already. So that's the bare minimum information that they provide. And these websites, instead of serving as these hubs of information and alleviating some of the barriers, they create those structural barriers, unfortunately. And one of the other key themes that emerged was that the social capital of URM population is not highlighted on this particular website. So there's not much focus on inclusion. The only focus is on diversity. So they're not URM specific resources that are provided online for them to be that they feel included in the process and be able to reach out to people to ask very specific questions, which may be more culturally specific to them as compared to the norm, which is again very Eurocentric. So these were some of the key themes that emerged in this particular talk. And then like some of the implications really are, well, what the themes were, that being a school's ability to provide comprehensive and transparent information on their websites, and making sure that they do develop programming specific to URM population, focusing on students and their viewpoints, for instance, first generation migrant ESL students. And this particular way, we will be able to not only recruit a diverse set of students, but also make them feel included in the process. Thank you.